Hello there, it's the Archivist from tradingcardarchives.com, and I'm here today to do one of those great big showcase videos that everyone seems to love so much. So I do this from time to time from some of the bigger collections that I maintain. So there, I have a lot of sets here. I have over 300 sets here, which I know that seems crazy, but watch the tour video if you don't believe me. There's a lot of boxes here. It is kind of crazy. But there's a few franchises that I personally collect and that I'm like trying to complete the sets, and I trade a lot, and I just collect quite a lot of them, way too much of, let's say. One of those is Gundam. So I have tons of Gundam cards. I haven't shown that collection off in a while. I might do that one next weekend, but that's a pretty impressive set. I have my Marvel set, which is also pretty good, I think. And I did a showcase of that a couple weeks ago, so you could watch that video if you wanted. But this is the big one. This is the trading card set that I kind of started with. It was the first AliExpress cards that I bought were Gundam cards and SCP Foundation cards. And when I first bought them, I didn't know anything about them at all. It took me almost a year to really learn all there is to know about these cards, and I'll share that with you today. So if you're getting into these for the first time, or even if you have a few and are just wondering what they are, this video will help you kind of understand what this set is, what the different parts of it are, all the different rarities, the different companies involved. It's a very complex thing. And so I'll try to go through it all and explain it all to you today. But really, the motivation for today's video was actually a Kickstarter that has been running for a while. But I just learned about it, um, oh gosh, like a couple weeks back, and I backed it, of course, because it's amazing. It's not trading cards, though, it's comic books, but it's SCP Universe comic books, and they look amazing. So let me show you that Kickstarter first, just so that I can kind of show that off and help. I really want people to back this. It's already fully funded and everything, and I don't get paid any money for doing this. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I just wanted to help them out, and I think it's a really amazing project and a very cool product. So I think anyone who is interested in SCP stuff like this is definitely gonna like these. So this is the Kickstarter. I'll link to it in the description of this video. There's 27 days to go, and as you can see, it's been funded like 8 times over. So they have all the funding they need. So they're not desperate or anything like that. But at the same time, if you are interested in this kind of product, you only have about a month left to get in on this one. And as you can see here, I've backed it at the, I actually backed it with some extras. So I'm backing it for $140 right now. But I'll go through the campaign quick so you can kind of see what it is. But basically, they talk a little bit about what SCP is. Then what you're going to get is you're going to get 5 comic books and a really, really cool hard case to put them in. So it makes like a box set, and it's going to have a sound chip in it so that it can play various sound effects related to SCP when you open the cover and things. So I think it's going to be a very cool product. And they go through all the different comics that they have. The first one is, of course, Plague Doctor. We're going to see a lot of Plague Doctor today. He is a major player in the SCP Foundation mythos. You'll see he has his own post, of course, but he's in many, many other stories, and so there's a comic book dedicated to him. There's the Red Sea Object, which is my personal favorite SCP. You'll see that one is on one of the covers of these packs of trading cards too. So these are all very, very famous SCP monsters, and they're going to tell their stories in a comic book form. The next one is the Old Man. We're definitely going to see that today too. Another very popular one. Then Expunged Data Released is more of a story. It's not about a specific SCP. It's about one of the MTF Mobile Task Forces and their exploits trying to find SCPs. And then there'll be Dimension Hopper, which Reluctant Dimension Hopper. That is one of the SCPs. There are trading cards for that SCP. It's a very popular one again, and another comic book version of it. Over here you can see what I picked up. So I got the 5 stories in a limited edition box set with a red foil and a sound chip. So this is the one that I got. And as you can see, there's quite a few left, so you don't have to worry if you... it's not like the independent trading cards. There's plenty of these to go around. You do just have to get in on the backing. And then there are a couple different box sets that you can get, including some pins. So there will be, I'll show you at the bottom here, but the box will include a section where we can put some pins, including the undying lizard, which is a famous one as well. So yeah, we're gonna have this acrylic stand, this sound chip, the red foil. You know I love foil. And then these are all the stretch goals that they've already achieved. So there's a Shy Guy pin, some stickers, an enamel pin for the possessive mask, for the hard to destroy reptile. Those have all been, or actually the hard to destroy reptile hasn't been met yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. And then Tickle Monster is of course the last one. But I don't think we're getting, we only have a month left, so I don't think we're going to get all the way up to this patch or anything like that. That would be cool, but it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, once you back this project, you also have the option of buying some of their earlier projects too. So this isn't their first Kickstarter. They've actually run 3 earlier Kickstarters. So that's why my backing pledge is a little bit higher, because I asked them to put in the other comic books as well from their previous Kickstarters. And the box set they're selling this time around will fit all of them. So even if you want to buy the old ones, they'll all fit inside this box. So it's going to be just this amazing product. I honestly can't wait to get it. And I really wanted to show it to all my viewers, because I know, you know, people like watch my channel are at least a little bit interested in SCP, and some of you are very interested in SCP. I know that because some of you collect this with me, and we've traded and talked about it many times, worked on checklists, that kind of thing. So so I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. Again, I'm not being paid for that or anything like that. I just wanted to help them out. Okay, so back to what we're doing now today. This is going to be a showcase. So I'm going to show you all of my collection from all the different sites that I can. And then we're also going to open some packs. So we are going to open probably 2 packs from each box. Again, that's what I usually do in a video like this. I'm not really hunting for anything anymore. You'll see when you look at the binders, I'm almost complete on this set. I'm just missing some SSRs. And those are really the long tail pulls for the set. You can buy, at this point, I can buy a box and not get a single new card. So it is getting really difficult for me to get new cards. So I'm not really hopeful that I get anything new today, but I'll show you everything that I have. But first, I wanted to go through this, because this is kind of an interesting thing. You'll see as we go through this collection, even though these are very low-end, low-cost cards, in fact, these are bootlegs, they aren't licensed in any way. It's not really possible to license the SCP universe. But I should also mention they use stolen artwork. So all the art you see on these packs and in the cards is all stolen from fans, which is, you know, that's horrible. But at the same time, you know, it's SCP Foundation. What are you going to do, right? It's a fan project. We try to protect it as best we can. But when you get into a country like China, there's just nothing anyone can do. So, you know, so you have to make your own decision as to whether you want to support that further. What I can tell you is that Camon, the company, this is the company Camon here, they're the main company producing these cards. They haven't produced these cards now in at least 2 years. And so at this point, all the, oh, sorry about that. All the cards, that's gonna make a lot of noise. All the cards that are being sold on AliExpress are already, you know, have been through the distribution pipeline. So when you pay a vendor for these cards, you aren't supporting the stolen artwork in a direct way anymore, because, you know, Camon's out of the game. They aren't making more of these. Nothing you do to buy or not buy these is going to make them or not make them anymore. They don't make these anymore. So they've already stopped doing that. They only work on licensed cards now. So there's not really that big of a concern there. So it really just becomes the concern of, are you okay with using you know, stolen artwork in your collection or not? And if not, this is not the product for you, because this is fully bootleg. It's all stolen art, and you have to accept that if you're collecting these. I can tell you that I've spoken with a lot of the artists who had their work stolen for this set. Quite a few of them, in fact, because I've done a lot of attribution work where I try to figure out who made the art. and then I go talk to them and I say, hey, I saw your art on these cards. I didn't steal it, but it's there, and I want to let you know about that. And there's a few different reactions I get. Like sometimes the artists are actually like really happy about it, and they're like, oh my god, I'm glad someone liked my art and used it for something. That's amazing. Some of them asked me to send them a card. I'm happy to do that. So if you see any of your art here or someone you know's art, and you want to get a copy of that card, I will send it to you for free wherever you are in the world. I don't care. Just let me know your address and stuff. Send a comment in YouTube, or you can email me on the website. There's a contact form with the email address, and I'll send you the card, because I think a lot of artists love to have their art on these cards, even though they weren't paid for it. It's still cool to have, right? But on the other hand, I've had a few artists get incredibly angry. One artist, in fact, who has some artwork in this set, is now a very famous Magic the Gathering artist, and she paints cards for Magic the Gathering. And in fact, she has an agent. She's kind of that famous. And when I contacted her to show her her card, her agent contacted me and was trying to figure out who this company was, because they wanted to go and sue them. And I helped them as much as I could, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to sue this company because Camon is a Chinese company run by Chinese nationals. There's nothing you can do outside of China. You won't be able to, even if you want to go and file a lawsuit, you can, but China will protect them. They'll never let you win that lawsuit. So it's not gonna happen. Trust me. I know it sounds like I'm just a person talking here, but I've done a lot of legal work, and especially copyright work. I actually was deeply involved with copyright enforcement for the Pokemon Company for a long time, worldwide. So I know quite a bit about the copyright space and how that works across national boundaries. And I can tell you that in China, you're not going to win that case. We tried many times. You're not going to win it. So don't waste your time or your money. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's talk about the cards, because the cards are still cool. And like I said, they've already all been sold, so really they're just sitting on shelves. You can buy them or not. It doesn't change anything, right? You're not changing anything. You're not making a statement. Nothing's changing here. So you can either collect them or not. It's up to you. I chose to collect them because I think they're really cool and I want to preserve them. And so that's the kind of the approach that I'm taking when I think about these cards. I just always like to talk about that because it is a very nuanced thing, and I don't want people to think that I'm just being, flippant about it or something. I'm not. I've studied this and learned a lot about this, and then I made the choice to collect them with all that knowledge in hand. Okay, so this is the very first set. So this is often called the brown box. I'll show you the boxes too in a minute, but what I've done here is I've preserved, encased, right, one pack from every single set in the SCP universe. So this is set 1. This is actually set 2. So this is YCSR 2, it's called. So this is the second edition box. This is the first edition box, 2 yuan box. So that's a 1 yuan box. That's a 2 yuan pack, box pack. This is a 3 yuan pack. We'll be opening all these packs again today, but I just wanted to show you that I have these all encased in here. This is one of the 5. This is my favorite set. If you are going to buy any cards from this set, even just to dabble, get this one. The 5th one is the best by far. The packs are amazing. They always have great hits in them, and there are some really wonderful rarities that are exclusive to this particular set, drawn by an artist named Sunny Clockwork, who I've talked to a little bit about this, and is actually kind of proud of their cards being in this set. So they feature heavily actually in this box. So this is YCSR 5. This is the 10 yuan box pack. So this is the most expensive and highest end SCP cards that were ever produced are in this pack here. And then these two are interesting because these are not Camon cards. These are made by this company here and here and there. So that I've never figured out what their logo is, but they are not Camon. This is a completely different company that also made SCP Foundation cards. and they made a 1 yuan and a, sorry, in the wrong order. This is 1 yuan, this is the 2 yuan packs. And we'll open these two today so you can see the difference. But there's big differences between all the different sets. So let me put those to the side, because what I'm going to do is kind of show you the boxes, and we'll get packs out in a minute. Actually, I need to put those, sorry, I need to put those a little further away. What I want to show you next is something really kind of funny, but it's a consequence of what I've been doing here. So like I said, I've been collecting this particular one for a while now. And as a result, I've purchased, a ton of boxes and loose cards and collections and things from other people who have had SCP. And the result of that is dupes. And so this box right here, this is a 3,000 card box, which is half full. So there's about 1,500 cards in here right now. These are all my duplicates. Just duplicates in here, right? And just to give you an idea, these are all my Faceless sheep duplicates. So this is one of the SCP trading cards here, and these are just dupes of that card. All the different kinds of treatments. We'll talk about the different treatments as we go too, but you can see them on there. But these are all dupes, just dupes. I have a lot of them, and then all the ones you see here that are sleeved are actually SR or above dupes. Up to the point where there are even GR dupes. So GR, or greater rare, is the highest rarity, highest normal rarity in the set. And I have GR dupes. These cards often sell for $10 on eBay, this rarity level. And I have, probably 50 of them in here that are dupes. That's like $500 worth of dupes, right? Okay, so let me pause quick, and I'm going to move this box off my desk. Sorry, I don't want you to watch me do that because it's pretty heavy actually with all these dupes in here. But I wanted to show you that so you could see kind of how many dupes you get from this set. You'll get a sense of it as we open packs too, because we're going to get a ton of dupes just from the packs we open. But let me move this off the desk. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and I want to show you now my binder. One of my binders. I have two binders for this set, and I can kind of explain why as we look at it, and also show you why. But it is a large set. There are, I think, about 400 unique cards in the collection, and that's if you don't count the different treatments. A lot of the rares in the set have 3 treatments, so you could, if you wanted to really complete this, you would need to have all 3 treatments of each rare. And I actually have all 3 treatments of each rare. I have many copies of each treatment of each rare already. So I've done that. Once you get into the SSR levels, though, there's only the 1 treatment, so it's not quite so bad. But what's interesting here is this is not a normal binder. You'll notice there's only 9 slots on each page, but they're big, right? This is a top loader binder. And so what that means is that you put top-loaded cards into the binder. So that's what those are. So this card is sleeved and then top-loaded. And what that does is it protects the card even more, right? Sometimes binders can get, even this binder you can see has a little bit of a curve to it, right? If the card's not in a top loader, it's going to get curved sitting inside of a binder. So if you really want to preserve and show off your cards well, I recommend top loader binders for that. It's more expensive, obviously, right? Like the cost per card becomes, $2 or so in the binder if you include the sleeve and the top loader and the binder, versus a regular binder is going to be like 50 cents or something. So it's a lot more. But on the other hand, if I take this to an event or a trade show or something, I can hand people these cards and there's no risk that they're gonna bend them or anything because they're in a top loader, right? So I can show them the card and be like, hey, look at this one's really cool, right? And they can take it and hold it, and it's totally fine, right? So that's why I keep the cards in a binder like this. Now before we go through the binder, I want to show you the checklist, which is another thing that we've done. So over on tradingcardarchives.com, again, that's a real website. A lot of people think this is just like a channel. It is a YouTube channel, but there is also a website with tons of stuff on it. You could come and look at it anytime. There's all sorts of articles and lots of scans. So there's like thousands of card scans in here, Kickstarter trackers, all sorts of stuff like that. But what this is this is my SCP checklist, which I didn't make alone. So a few commenters, mostly Pink Eye and me, well, mostly Pink Eye actually, he did a lot of the work for this checklist, and I kind of just hosted it basically when he was done. But he has way more than I do. But yeah, like I said, there's a few big collectors. There's like dozens of us. Literally, there's probably like 12. But this checklist, which you can get from the main page right here, you can see it here, but it's harder to use when it's embedded like that. What I recommend is that you click this link, and I'll put a link to it in the video description. But when you go here, you'll see that what we have done is we have all of the cards in a Google Doc. And so you see there are, yeah, about 410 unique cards to get. And you can sort it now. So you can sort it by card number, by rarity, by the SCP name. And we also have wiki links to all of the SCPs that we know about, right? So some of them I haven't figured out who they are, or I haven't filled it in yet. But all the ones we know, you can click this link and go read the wiki page for that SCP card, which I think is just such a fun way to collect this set. I've personally been reading that wiki for 20 years now, so I've read it a lot of times. Every time I travel, I'm always reading the SCP wiki. I don't know, it comforts me a little bit on airplanes and things, which is such a strange thing. But you'll notice that some of the SCPs featured on the trading cards are actually from the international wikis. This one is from the Chinese wiki. And there's a few in here that are from the Russian wiki too, which is two of the biggest international SCP wikis. But anyway, okay, so I wanted to show you that. Now that you've seen that, I'll explain what you're looking at here and how they're all organized. So the SCP set is labeled YCSR. So right here you see it, YCSR. That's the designation that Camon gave to this set. And then from within that, there are many subsets. So the primary set is YCSR 1. And then you see this is card 5. That's why it's in slot 5 of the binder. I'm actually missing 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have them yet. And I've opened a lot of packs. I just don't have, they're hard to find. The SSRs are incredibly hard to get. I've been looking for a long time. I hope I get a new one today. But you'll see I have almost all the other cards, just not all the SSRs. But I have them all in order here, right? So this is from card 1 all the way through the YCSR 1 set. And that's what you're going to see in here. So there's some more SSRs. There's the Tickle Monster. And then these are SRs. So that's the Possessive Mask. This is... yeah, anyway, you'll see there's a lot of them in here. There's the Red Sea Object. Yeah, very interesting looking cards. And then every single one has a little bit of information on the back too. So it'll tell you, the containment level of that SCP. This Red Sea object is a level 1. I believe it's a Keter class. Well, I can't remember now. Definitely, I think it probably is. But anyway, and then you'll see there's all sorts of different art styles on the cards, but just keep in mind all that artwork is stolen from fans, so we have to recognize that. Then these are the rares, still in the YCSR 1 collection, and that's the last YCSR 1 card. After that, you move into YCSR W, which is the 5 yuan subset, and they added a bunch of more SSRs and cards in there. So these are all YCSR W cards. This one is actually, that's this, let me pull it out and show you. This is the one that was drawn by the Magic the Gathering artist. So I'm sorry I had to show it again, but I mean, I can't, I told the agent the same thing, like I can't make it disappear, right? It exists. There's nothing I can do to make this disappear. I'm sorry, I wish I could, but I can't do that. So anyway, there's some SSRs from YCSR W, and this again YCSR W here, and you can see I'm missing SSRs. It's very common, but I am not missing any. Let's see, this is 10. Oh, 10 goes right here. Sorry, that one fell out. It goes right there. I'm not missing any SRs. But you'll see different treatments on the SRs. So you'll see all these have that kind of cubic foil to them, right? The rares, though, will have this kind of weird star foil on them. That's the YCSRW treatment, and that's a faceless sheep in the YCSRW treatment. But that card also exists with no foil and with regular foil and with this star foil. So there's 3 different versions of that card available. And as we go through here, you'll see more rares. And now we're moving into the YCSR S collection. So the S collection comes from the 10 UN box. So these are all added in the 10 UN box. And these are SRs added there as well. There's another Red Sea object, but then this is a different card. This isn't the same card. This is the YCSR S version of it. And then now we're into 2. So remember I said that these cards were all like YCSR 1. These are YCSR 2. So this is the 2nd edition. This was printed, the last thing that came on printed actually, and they only ever printed a 2 UN box of that. They never printed a 1 or a 5 or anything else. It's just a 2 UN box. I have it here. I'll show it to you. But that's all that is. So the YCSR 2 collection is actually pretty small, but I have almost all of it. Another Red Sea object. And then we get into some of the special cards. So this is one of the sets I was talking about. These have all been drawn by an artist named Sunny Clockwork. They drew all these cards, and Camon added the foil treatment to them, of course, and put them on a trading card. But the silhouette artwork is Sunny Clockwork's artwork, and these are all observer cards. So these are different scientists and characters who work in the Foundation, but they're not SCPs on their own, right? They're scientists and people from the SCP Foundation. All very interesting backstories on all of them, for sure. And then these are the SHC rarity cards. So there's 2 sets of them. There's a blue set and a gray set, and each has 6 cards, and they feature prominent events from the SCP mythos. So these are like big events when they caught a particular SCP or some exploit of an MTF force or something like that is all depicted on these cards. These actually are some of the hardest cards to get, and I'll explain it again later, but the reason they're so difficult is because the box that they come from, like all these blue cards come from just one box. They come from the 3 UN box, but that box will either have some of them in it or it will have none of them in it, and you don't know when you buy it. And so, half of the boxes of YCSR 3 UN that I've bought have had no SHCs at all, like 0. And that's just a configuration of that box. When you if you had gotten a case of it, what would happen is about 24 of the boxes in the case would have these or would not have these, and 12 of the boxes would have these in it. So you kind of have to get lucky and get a box that has these, or you're never going to pull them. And that was one of the things that actually almost drove Pink Eye to stop collecting, is he kept buying 3 UN boxes and never pulled a single one of these. And then I remember I was in the same boat. I had never pulled any either. I was like, do these even exist? I don't even know. Like, I heard about them, but I've never pulled one. And then one day I got a new 3 UN box, and it had like 2 of each one in it. It had like 12 of these in the box. So if you get one of the boxes that has it, you will get a full set. But you have to kind of keep buying until you get there. It's the same thing with the gray ones. The gray ones come from the 2 UN box. And again, are just featuring famous events from the SCP universe. So that's my first binder. Remember, I have 2 binders for this. Let me get the second one out. Here's binder 2. Also a top-loader binder, so same kind of configuration here. But what this is now is this is the other company's cards. So you'll notice they look different, right? They have a completely different design to them. That's because they're from a totally different company. They're not Camon cards at all. Just another company that decided to make SCP Foundation cards. And these ones are only available in 1 and 2 UN boxes. and they are incredibly hard to complete. In fact, I don't expect to ever complete the SSR and UR levels of this. It's just impossible to me to even think about. But you can see there's a Red Sea object again. And yeah, so here are some of the SSRs that I do have. That's the old man who you saw in the comics earlier. And then there's a Dr. Gears. I think this card is probably one of my favorites. I think it looks really cool. And that's a doctor. That's not one of the SCPs, although he is also an SCP. This is the Plague Doctor on a UR. Then I've got a couple of CPs that feature very big competing factions with the SCP Foundation. And then there's also O5 cards. If you know about the Foundation, it's run by a group of 5 people they're called the O level or O5. And they are basically like the officers of SCP. And this officer, O5, is actually Eve, like from the Bible. That's who that is. So in the mythos too. So this UR card is featuring Eve from the Bible, which I always thought was kind of a cool card. And then here's some rares. This one I always like to talk about because it's kind of interesting. Remember I said all this artwork is stolen, right? This is also stolen artwork. And when I was working on the attribution for this one, this is Cthulhu. So the Cthulhu is an SCP in that universe. This piece of art actually accompanied a Neil Gaiman story in a 1980s sci-fi magazine. He wrote a short story where Cthulhu is telling the story of Christmas to his slave, and his slave is writing down the story of Christmas. And that's what this art is depicting, right? But it's just so funny to me that the company that printed these stole artwork from a sci-fi article on Cthulhu that Neil Gaiman wrote. And in fact, I actually contacted Neil Gaiman. He replies to email. You can email him and things. I contacted him and showed him this card, and I was like, hey, do you know who made this art? I would like to talk to them and try to get attribution for this. And he knew who made this art, and he introduced me to the artist, and we talked for a bit too. And I sent him one of these cards. So very kind of cool story about these cards again. Okay, and then here's some more. I'm sorry, we will open trading cards too today. I just wanted to go through and show these all because this is more of a showcase video. Now we're getting into what are called GRs. So this is sort of the rest of this binder is all going to be the highest end cards in the set. These are those GRs. And these ones are special. These are special because you can see they have a T on them, YCSR T. These come from the 3-1 box, I think, and they're green GRs. So there's gold GRs, there's gray GRs, and there's green GRs. These are the green ones. And I don't have all the green ones yet, but I have quite a few of them. And then these pages are gold GRs, so you can kind of see they have more of a gold color to them. And these are different GRs that I have. And then moving over here, we have more of the golds. And then, yeah, and then here are really special cards, but they're also not as rare. So these LRs are guaranteed in a box. So if you buy certain boxes, you will get this LR or this LR. And so I actually have like 5 copies of each of these because every single box you buy will have that in it. It's the same with this MLR. So this MLR is technically the chase card of the whole set. This would be the rarest card, by rarity level that they've made, the highest tier card that came on printed anyway. But at the same time, they put one of these in every single 10 box. So if you buy a 10 box of SCP cards, you will get this card. It's guaranteed. So I actually have 3 copies of that one. This is the only UR I have. So let that sink in for a second. I think there's about 8 URs to collect. I have 1, and only 1. I've never pulled a dupe. I have 1 UR. That's it. Look at all these GRs I have. I have 50 dupes of all these GRs. That's the only UR I've ever pulled. It's insane to me how rare they made the URs. Then these purple cards are ZR rarities. They tell the story of SCP-1. So if you know anything about the SCP mythos, or just go check the wiki, they're numbered, right? So SCPs are all numbered. There's thousands of them at this point. But the SCP-1 is a special one where the Foundation doesn't want to say what it really is. So there's like 36 different variations of what SCP-1 could be. And that's actually there. If you go to the wiki, there's 36 different stories. And so what Camon did is they made a card in the ZR rarity for every single one of those stories. So there's 36 of these ZRs to collect. I don't have them all yet, but I'm working on it. But you can see there's 36. There's many pages, right, of those. And then these XRs go along with them. So for every ZR, there's an XR that sort of has a clue on it. If you translate that, it's kind of like a clue as to which of the SCP-1s is real. But I have to tell you that this stuff, the stuff on these cards, is something that Camon made up. So it's not part of the wiki or anything. This whole clue system is something that only exists on the trading cards, and is something that Camon added. They didn't take that from the wiki, so it's not canon, right? In the canon of SCP Foundation, there is no actual SCP-1. It's always a mystery. But in the canon of Camon's cards, you could figure it out if you had all the XRs. I don't have them all yet. But anyway, okay, so that's a quick showcase of all the cards. Quick, I guess we're at about 40 minutes now, but like I said, I wanted to do a full showcase of everything I had. Now let's start looking at some of the boxes. So I'm going to pause again, and we'll start bringing the boxes up one at a time, and we'll talk about each box, get a couple packs out, open them up, and take a look at it. Okay, so I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And this is the original box. So this is what's sometimes called the brown box. This box is incredibly hard to find now. If you search on AliExpress for SCP collection cards, I'll put some links to some places that sell them. Very, very few vendors offer this box anymore, and the ones that do really don't have it. I've found that out the hard way. If you order it, they will take your order, but they'll send you actually the YCSR 2 box. Sometimes they'll message you ahead of time, but sometimes they just send you the wrong box. But this box is very hard to find. I have 2 of them here that I will be opening, and I also have one of every single one of these boxes sealed in acrylic, which again, I know that seems crazy, but I'm planning to someday build like an SCP museum sort of with all this stuff, so it's going to be fun. But that's what this is about too. So I actually have a sealed box of this in an acrylic case that I'm keeping forever sealed, right, with all the packs in it and everything. But this is one that I'm opening and working on. I have a couple that I'll be opening, but I'll show you the box first. You can see the artwork features the Plague Doctor, and you can see a little bit of information about different SCPs on here. Then the back has a link to Camon's site. You can see there would be 36 packs in this box with 6 cards per pack, and it is YCSR 1, which is the first edition, and then it's 01, meaning it's the 1 UN box. And there's the rest, and then the back is empty. Inside, though, is something kind of cool. So when you get these boxes, they will have this will be like here, has 2 little wings. These are set lists. So this is one of the ways we were able to make that checklist, is because we have all of these, and I've scanned them all on my website. You can get images of this if you'd like to have it, and it tells you all the different cards that are in there. And so there's 4 GRs, the SRs, all that kind of stuff. So that is something that you can get. And then, like I said, we're probably going to do just maybe 2 packs today, because we've already made a very long video. But yeah, we'll open 2 packs of that. So that is box 1, the very first box. And that was the pack for box 1 that I've sealed up. Then let's look at box 2. So this is box 2. This box is still very easy to find. You can buy this very easily. This is the 2 UN version of the set. And in fact, like, you're not missing anything from this. If you can't find this box, it's totally okay. Every single card that was in these packs is also in these packs. So you can actually start from this box and still get everything. You won't be missing anything. The back here now has a little bit more information. You can see that there are these white GRs. I've actually never pulled a white GR yet. I really would like to get one, or a gray GR, but I've never pulled one. I've pulled all the SHCs though, so if we can get a white GR today, that would be awesome because I've never pulled one. But this is the 2UN box, and it has this unique configuration where it's kind of an upright box like that. And so we will open 2 packs of that today. So that was box 2, and again featuring the Plague Doctor, different artwork. And now this is box 3. Box 3 is also a great place to start, although this box can be pretty frustrating, but this is very easy to find still. This is a 3UN box. You'll notice it's huge. It's also heavy. This box has 50 packs in it. So you can see there, 50 packs with 7 cards each. So there are a lot of cards in this box. That's the UR. It's not the only UR they've made, but it's one of the only URs they've made. I have a copy of it, and I have all 4 of the green GRs. So I have a complete set of green GRs already. I got that because I was hunting for these SHCs. Remember, I'm not kidding, I bought like 4 boxes of this and didn't pull a single SHC. Have since pulled one. Hang on, this box isn't open. I have an open one. Let me pause and go get my open box. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I'm back. So yeah, I'll save this one for later because I haven't started on that box yet. But this one I've already been working with, and so we'll open 2 more packs from this. Oh, that had 50 packs in it when it started. These are very big boxes. Okay. And now, like I was saying before, this is my favorite. This is the 5UN box, and the packs look like this. And this is also very easy to buy still. The kind of theme of this box was the hunt for SCP-173, the Shy Guy. This image here is a pretty famous image of Shy Guy. And then it also includes that LR that we saw before. But there's some of the new cards that are in here. We've got some new GRs, some new SSRs, and some new SRs and rares in this set. This box would have 20 packs of 5 cards each. It also includes the CR rarity, so you can see that here. But that's those observers cards that I showed you, the Sunny Clockwork ones. Those are from this box. Now you can kind of tell already, but this box never survives shipping. The cardboard is very weak and the shape is strange, so if you order this, it's going to come broken like that. This one's actually in pretty good condition compared to some that I've gotten, but actually, like, to get a good version of this box is pretty difficult to do. I had to pay one of the vendors I work with a lot, C1 Luxury Store. I paid them extra money once. I basically ordered 2 boxes and said, hey, instead of sending me 2 boxes, because you can message the vendors on AliExpress and they'll respond. It's actually a great system. They're very friendly, most of them. All the ones I've talked to have been very friendly so far. But I said, hey, I bought 2 of these, but instead of sending me 2, just send me 1, but put plastic around it, like protect it so that it comes in one piece, right? And they understood, and they put these little hard corners on each side and then covered the whole thing in paper, like black paper, and then also put bubble wrap around it. So it arrived in perfect condition. That's the one that I have sealed in acrylic over there. But the ones I open are a little more broken like that. So we'll do 2 packs of that today too. That's the 5UN box. And those are all from the first series still. Now this is another box that is hard to get shipped to you in one piece. But what I ended up doing was buying 2 of them, and you'll see it's kind of a triangle shape. So if you buy 2, they can put them side to side, and it makes a square. And it's actually pretty strong then. So that's how I got these in decent shape. But it's a very interesting box design for sure. This is the 10UN level. And we'll open 2 packs from there today. And it has this plastic insert. That's one of the reasons this box is a little bit stronger than the others. There's the sealed pack for that. Cool set, right? It's like kind of a very interesting thing to learn about and to talk about. That's why, I don't mind making kind of a longer video about it. Okay, so now let's look at this. So that is all of the YCSR 1 releases are here now. That's all of those. This is the 2nd edition now. So this box is what you will be sent if you try to buy one of the brown boxes. At least that's what always happens to me. I always get this one. So I have like 10 of these because I keep getting them by accident, basically. But this is set 2. And they only ever release set 2 in this configuration. So this is YCSR 2. And it's a 1 UN box, 36 packs, 6 cards per pack. And it was never released. There was no 2 yuan, there's no 5. They kind of stopped the series after this box. So this was the end of Camon's SCP days right here. We get 2 more of those wings, and we'll open 2 of those today. And that's this one. And now we'll move into the other companies. So these are not, well, that's 2. Let's look at 1 first. 1. These are not Camon cards, so they don't have Camon's logo on them. I know that seems obvious now, but it took me months to figure that out. Actually, Pink Eye is the one who explained it to me. He's like, hey, those aren't Camon cards. And I'm like, oh god, I thought they were just different designs from Camon, but they aren't. But you can see here, this is kind of what the box looks like. These are very difficult to find. In fact, I don't think you can buy these anymore. I have a couple sealed copies here. And 1 in acrylic, but I don't think you can buy it. I think it's all gone now at this point. They were not printed as much as the Camon ones, and they they're hard to get. Since you only have 1 and 2 UN configurations, it's very difficult to pull top pulls from this set. Oh, I'm running out of space. Sorry. Okay, so that was that one. 1 more box and then we'll be done. There's 8 total boxes in the set. So this is that same company, not Camon. This is the 2 UN version of it. I'll show you the box quick. That's the factory. And this is what those packs look like. A couple packs of that. 2. Okay. So now, I think now you've seen everything that I have related to SCP Foundation. So why don't we open some packs up and take a look at those, because that's probably what you came here for today, trading cards. And here we are, about 50 minutes in and just getting started with the packs. But that's okay. It won't take too long to go through these. I have opened these so many times now that there's a whole playlist of videos on this. If you want to watch SCP cards be opened, there is probably like 100 hours of SCP card on my channel. I open them a lot. I've opened whole boxes of everything, so you can watch me rip like a 10 UN box. I've done that actually a few times. So we'll go through some of the rares here. There's the iPods. None of these are new to me. I have all of these already. You'll notice that this is the brown box, right? The very first one. There's no treatment on those cards. They don't even have foil. They're just color printed. That's the way they looked back then. The other thing you'll notice, which will make more sense when we get to another pack, is there's no Camon logo on it anywhere, right? The card itself is kind of unmarked. Doesn't have a trademark, nothing. That is their very first set. They just didn't have it. When you get to the second set, they started adding their logo at the bottom. So I'll kind of leave that one up there so we can compare the logos later. And then we got an SR, which does have a foil treatment to it. And I am still missing GRs from this set and SSRs, so if we do pull one today, that would be amazing, although it is quite rare. quite rare. And we'll go through the rares kind of fast because we've seen a lot of those before. There's an SR, the teddy bear. A teddy bear makes other teddy bears. Okay, moving on. Here's a 2 pack. The packs do kind of explain their rarity levels and things on the back too if you want to take a screenshot of that. I also have on the website, I have high resolution scans of the back and front of every single pack. So if you want to see that stuff up close, just go to the website and there's lots of scans to it. I have a guide to this set on there where you can read that whole guide. So this, the 2UN rares, they come with cracked ice. So now you're going to see cracked ice. And so I can show you now, because we've pulled 2 iPods, and show you the difference. I don't need that one. But yeah, so here is an iPod from set 2, and here's from set 1. It's the same card, right? Number 68, YCSR 68, SCP-131. Everything's the same. But then on the back, you'll notice that there are logos on the newer card. So the newer cards started to get logos, the older ones don't. So that's kind of one of the only differences really between these two. And also you have the treatment on them. So that's 2 of the treatments. I don't think we'll see all 3 treatments of a single card today. We'd have to get really lucky to get that. But there is a 3rd treatment, which is this kind of full foil. So here's 2 SRs. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy the video so far. I know we're kind of near the end, but I always put check marks in my videos. So if you want to move all the way to where I'm opening cards, you can always just jump right to there. You're not going to offend me at all. I make this stuff for people to enjoy. So if you're not enjoying watching it, please skip ahead or skip back or watch something else. It's all fine. Yeah, if you do enjoy this SCP content and you want to collect these, that guide on the website is a great place to start to learn. Or if you just want to ask me questions, you know, send a comment on the video, send me an email, whatever. I can tell you so much about this set. We've learned, I think, everything there is to know about it at this point. You know, that said, if you know something about this set that I got wrong as I've been talking here, or if you know more about it than I do, like maybe you've been to China and you know someone who worked on it or something like that, please get in touch because I am, as you can tell, kind of fanatical about this set and I would love to learn even more. So that's that 3rd treatment. So we'll see that one now on some of the rares. That treatment you get from the 3 packs. And these are actually YCSR 2 reprints with that treatment. But they aren't all, so there's a W. There will be 1s in here too, somewhere. At least I'm not getting a 1 today. And then there's some SRs. I always think it might be a new one, but then I'm like, no, it's not. I looked at that one, I thought maybe that's a new card, but then I remember, no, I have every single SR. I know from the binders, I'm not missing a single one because I have them in numerical order. There, key, spider cake. I have, like, everyone who reads and pays attention to the SCP world, you kind of come up with your own nicknames for the SCPs. Like SCP-173, we call it Shy Guy because he's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm getting the numbers wrong. But anyway, one is called Shy Guy, and that's not really his name, but that's just the nickname we all call him. That one is not actually called Spider Cake, but I mean, obviously it looks like spider cake, and if you read the wiki, it's a spider cake, so that's what I call it. Now this is my favorite pack. So as I said before, the 5 packs, definitely my favorites. Favorite to open. You always will get a CR in them, and those look great. But you also will get really high hit rates for SSRs and things in here. So here is my CR that I pulled today. And that artwork again is by Sunny Clockwork, although they're not licensed, and that artist was not paid for that art at all. So we have to be aware of that. So this is an SSR. This is actually SCP 1000. So that's Bigfoot. So it's, if you read that wiki, it's the story of Bigfoot. Here are some SRs. And then some rares. Rare and there. Camera chicken. That's another one where I have like almost 50 copies of that card. No, 51. I wonder if we'll get more Faceless sheep today. I haven't gotten one yet. I keep the Faceless sheep separate in my dupe pile because it's kind of the one that I use to gauge exactly how many dupes I'm getting, because I get a lot of dupes. So that's the Leviathan. So even though I haven't pulled a new SSR yet, you can see you get an SSR in almost every pack. So it's worth it if you're trying to complete the set to buy the 5-yuan boxes. They're, I would say, the best way to get the set completed. Although obviously, like, the 10-yuans would be even better, but they're more expensive. The 5-yuan cubes, you can usually get them for $20, sometimes even less on sale. This one's going to be like $30 and rarely goes on sale. So it's much more expensive to try to complete it from these packs versus from those packs. And also these packs have 2 cards that will be in every pack that sort of take up space from other cards. These XR clue cards that I was showing you earlier are one of them. And then the ZR. So you will always get a ZR like this. Actually, that's a ZR I don't have yet, so that's really good, cool to get. But these ZRs, again, they tell the story of SCP-1. So that is SCP-1-1. That's actually the very first SCP-1. It's cool. And then we got a couple of SSRs here. We got the teddy bear. Just get, sorry, I keep pulling single sleeves. I should get multiple sleeves at once here. It's an SSR and another SSR. Unfortunately, both SSRs that I already had. But still, you see how you can, you basically get like higher tier cards in the more expensive packs. But those packs are much more expensive. I can't remember the exact math, but I think like a pack of this is something like, 90 cents or 80 cents, something like that for one of these. Whereas a 1-yuan pack is like 9 cents. 9 cents for the pack, right? Because you can buy a box of 36 for like $12. So if you do the math on that, that's like 9 to 10 cents a pack, depending on how you want to round. So there's one of our clues again. And we got some SSRs. This one I already had. That one I don't think I had, actually. That might be a new SSR. No, I have. Sorry, I do have this one. I'm sorry. I get confused. I have that one. Darn it. I was more hopeful than anything else. Wow, the ZRs look very nice. Great color on them. And yeah, as you can see, anything in the like ZR and above rarity, I will sleeve. But the rest I won't, because they're just very common. SR, another SR, another SR, and another SR. Alright, moving right along, this is YCSR 2, which is the second series of cards. Oh, and right off the gate, we got an SSR. That's nice. It is one I already had. Even so, like the SSRs, they don't sell quickly, but you can sell them for $2 to $3 on eBay. So there's not nothing. It's not great, but it's not nothing. Whereas the rares, you're not getting anything for those. Those are just basically actually nothing. All right. Going, there's an SR. Rare. Here's our rares. What I love to do with these cards is to, as you saw in the checklist, like find the wiki page and read about the card, especially if the image is really appealing to me, because I don't know, it's always fun to learn about SCPs. I just love the mythos, and I love all the writing that's been done with it. So these now are the other company's cards. So these are not Camon cards. You see they look, they not only look different, but they're different size. Like the card is just a different size. It's a different stock, card stock weight, and then the backs are just totally different designs, right? So it's a different company made SCP cards. That's what happened there. Sorry, let me put that up there so it's not quite so. Oh, I got an SSR. That's awesome. Oh, and it's a new one. Woohoo! This is pretty good. This is very special. It's hard to get these. You're getting like one or two in each box, so that's pretty cool. And this one is pretty interesting. So this is a D class card. So that's D 1958. So the D class are the kind of prisoners that the Foundation uses to test the anomalies with. And so if you think about that, these D-class people are often just being killed, right? They get killed just immediately, right? So the Foundation will go through, hundreds of D-class to figure out what a particular anomaly can do. And when I say go through, I mean like they kill them. They just kill D-class like crazy. It's it's a pretty wild to think about actually what they're doing there, and definitely not ethical. But here we go, some more rares. And just rares in that pack. And you can see the dupe rate is super high, so there's two 1471s in a row. All right, last two packs, and then we'll be done. Sorry, I know it got to be a very long video, but I kind of wanted to do like one big, end-to-end everything SCP in a video, so that you could, if you wanted to just learn about all of it, you could just watch one video and do that. Instead of having to watch a bunch of videos. And I also wanted to show off that Kickstarter, so I feel like I was successful here. Or at least I'm happy with this. Oh, I didn't notice. That's an SR, actually, so that's an SR. So I'm going to sleeve that. Although I probably already have it. But still, look at that sleeve. And then here we go, last pack. It is just a 2U1 pack, so I'm not expecting much. But if we could get another UR, another 05, that would be amazing. a rare. Oh, I got a UR. Oh my god. Last pack mojo work. I'm sorry I doubted you, last pack mojo. You worked again. Oh my god. It's one I don't have too. How incredible. This is well, this made the whole video worth it to me at least. This is like not even one per box, right? This is like one every 2 or 3 boxes, and those boxes are impossible to buy now. So, that might be one of the last URs I ever pull, and there it is. Amazing. That is really, really cool. And it's a Thaumiel class SCP, and this is, what SCP is this? SCP 2217. So I can't remember what that is, but why don't we make the video even longer, and I'll go pause and learn about this SCP, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And SCP 2217 is a beach in Greece, but it's a holy site for the Church of the Broken God, which is sort of a machine god worshipping faction. So in the SCP mythos, there are factions that work against the Foundation. That's one of them. And they are trying to free certain anomalies because they worship them like gods. And so that isn't, I mean, I'm not kidding. This is a really cool card to get. I'm very happy to have gotten it. Okay, there is SCP Foundation again. Over an hour-long video. Sorry about that. That always seems to happen. But hopefully you found something in here to be to learn and to be interesting. Drop me a comment if you have any questions, and like and subscribe. It always helps me out if you like the videos and you want to see more. And I don't only do this, right? I do a ton of different stuff. So, but SCP is, like I said, one of the main ones that I collect. I just haven't done a video on it in a long time, but I do collect this quite a bit. I hope I've shown you that today. Anyway, okay, enough talk about SCP. Time to move on. But that was a lot of fun, and yeah, have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.